This is Renelle, and welcome to Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and friends. And here he is now, your host, my main man, Rod Brooks.
Thank you very much, Renelle. I am Rod Brooks, and this is Quality Hang. And as always, I'm joined on this broadcasting adventure by my partner in crime, my friend, the co-host of Quality Hang. He is Marcus Osborne. Happy Friday, my man. How you doing?
I am all right. I'm surviving the game.
Yes, sir.
And, just saw some kids survive a game, so this is gonna be a good night.
We will get to the very recently completed Game 4 of the NBA Finals. We have ourselves a series, but before we get into that, we always start the show by telling you that we are proudly sponsored by the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns, 3 locations to choose from. Novato, Sonoma, and in Sebastopol, and they all do the same great things. Great menu, great food. And by the way, it's a great place to bring the kids as well. Don't let the tavern moniker fool you. Great craft beer selection. I think one of the absolute best in the Bay Area. They also have a full bar as well. But what Hop Monk does better than anyone in this game is that what they have is a place for live music. And you will get national touring acts coming through all 3 venues in Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. But what I think makes it really special is that those 3 places, local acts, local artists can go and play and see and be seen. So to see what they have coming up live music-wise, check out Hop Monk online at hopmonk.com, at all the socials as well. But if you're around one of the 3 locations in Novato, Sonoma, or Sebastopol, just drop on in. It is a great place to kick it and have a meal. And maybe, just maybe, if it strikes you, to see a show. All right, let's get into it. We have ourselves a series. OKC just took care of the Indiana Pacers in downtown Indianapolis to win Game 4. Marcus, the series is tied at 2. I think we can all agree. Great game and great series so far. And to all those people who said that this series wouldn't be anything because the markets are too small, you don't have the star power that you usually have, and all that blather and jibber jabber, I say, well, you're missing out, because this has been a good one.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with those people in terms of the star power, but if you are a hoop head, if you like NBA basketball, this is as good as it gets. This is pure entertainment. It's as good as it gets. And definitely defying what I thought was going to happen with this series.
Same here.
The Pacers came to play. And listen, you saw it, you watched it. They really blew an opportunity. Andrew the GOAT in the comments puts it perfectly, Rod. That was embarrassing. The Pacers choked that game away. That's exactly how I feel about it.
Well, listen, I think a couple of things here are at play. The youth of the Pacers was on full display, and I think in the fourth quarter, the defensive intensity of the Oklahoma City Thunder was on display. That game was 87-80 at Indiana at the start of the fourth quarter. But and I said this on Wednesday, what OKC has that Indiana cannot get, because they're not going to get any bigger, is that OKC, they have size. It just has to be used. And I think, too, guys, getting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going in the fourth quarter, obviously that was big for the Thunder. For the most part, Shai was bottled up. He had only 14 points and 0 free throws deep into the third quarter. This is when the stars, and I think Shai is a star in the fourth quarter. This is when your stars are supposed to get active. And he indeed did get active. 15 points. He did go to the free throw line. As I mentioned, no free throws for the first 3.5 quarters. In the fourth quarter, Shai went to the free throw line 8 times. But he had
he averages 8 free throw shots per game.
So he hit it. So he hit his average. But here's the thing about OKC. And like I said, I mentioned this on Wednesday. They're bigger. They have Holmgren, they have Hartenstein. When they are able to use those guys, and they played them both in the fourth quarter at times where they are able to use those guys and use those guys to their advantage, it works. Hartenstein came in, had a couple of big offensive rebounds for a big offensive rebound that led to points. Chet Holmgren had a couple of big offensive rebound putbacks, obviously, that led to points, and he had a block in the fourth quarter. I just think that who you are shows up, good or bad, when the lights are brightest. And for the Pacers, as good as they've been, and clearly now this is a 3-game series, they are in it to win it, taking nothing away from them. But their youth and inexperience showed in the fourth quarter. I think for the OKC Thunder, what they do and what they do best, which is have Shea be the point of attack, get to the free throw line, whether you like it or not, and rely on their defense and their size to really get things started. They showed that in all 12 minutes of the fourth quarter, and that's why they won the fourth quarter 31-17. That's why they were able to come back from being down 10 in the fourth quarter, and that's why they won it 110-104, and that's why this series is now tied going back to OKC on Monday.
Yeah, I would definitely attribute this loss to taking nothing away from OKC, but the Pacers really choked this thing away. I mean, the inability to hit free throws, even towards the end of the game, they had opportunities with free throws to extend this thing, and they, for whatever reason, couldn't hit them. And I saw I think this may be their youth, but I did see them sort of fall into this hero ball type thing the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, where you say one person handling the ball for 10, 15 seconds, trying to go one-on-one.
Showed up. And that's exactly what OKC wanted. What has been killing OKC for the 2 games that they've lost in this series and really hurting them in games that they won is that the Indiana Pacers were absolutely killing them, just killing them with pace. And you could see in this game until it got to the fourth quarter, until you got to winning time, the OKC Thunder were gassed. The Pacers were pushing it at them offensively, and the Pacers getting after them as we've seen them do in this series defensively. The OKC Thunder were absolutely gassed. But I think, Marcus, your point is absolutely right. The Pacers played right into their hands, tried to play some hero ball. They were here's the bigger issue than their free throw shooting. The Pacers were 7-10 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. Make a couple of those, maybe it's a different game. But 70%, it's not optimal, but it's not terrible. Bigger problem is they were 5 for 18 from the field, 0 for 8 from three-point line. That's where they lost the game. So you lose the game in that regard. You lose the game because you got out-rebounded. And again, OKC size is what makes them different, and if it's used correctly, will make them better than the Pacers. OKC's size and rebounding took over in the fourth quarter. OKC 12 rebounds, Pacers 4. So you get out-rebounded 12-4. You go 0 for 8 from the three-point line. 27% from the field in the fourth quarter. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, gets active, playing the way that he plays, and you miss crucial free throws down the stretch. That's how you end up blowing an 87-80 lead going into the fourth quarter, and that's why the series is tied at 2.
Yeah, Coach Carlisle is going to just run this. He's just going to run the last 5 minutes of that fourth quarter back to these guys and go, guys, what were we doing here?
They're going to watch that tomorrow. And then they're going to watch it on the plane going to OKC. And then he's going to call them in after they eat on Sunday night in OKC. And he's going to call them in and he's going to say, we're going to watch some film. And they're going to watch. He'd probably make them watch the entire fourth quarter, but he's definitely going to drill down on the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Why did you deviate from our strategy? This is basically what they did. Why did you deviate? We had them. Why did you deviate?
Well, that's what young teams do. That it played right into OKC's hands. But I really think OKC having Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and having big guys who were active in Holmgren and Hartenstein in the fourth quarter, that makes all the difference in the world. Because if you go back to the first 3 quarters, Obi Toppin was ripping and running. All those guys were just ripping and running and just mashing the gas on OKC. Once that pace slowed down, and this has been a series about pace. Who can control the pace? The Pacers, pardon the pun, controlled the pace of game 4 for 3 quarters. The OKC Thunder controlled the pace of the game in the most important quarter. That's why they won at 31-17. That's why they won the game. That's why this series is tied at 2, and that's why it is now a best of 3. And that's why this series, contrary to what a lot of people thought before it started, because the front of the jerseys had Indiana and Oklahoma City, this series has been pretty damn good.
Well, man, as soon the Pacers have been underdogs in every single series this postseason. They're not supposed to be here. So that in and of itself makes it must-see TV for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is going to be good. Let's see how this stuff plays out in the next few days, and everybody's rested up and they come back refreshed, and see if OKC gets a blowout, and when they go back to Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, I think we're done with the blowouts. These
Very
two
possible.
teams now have played 4 times. They know each other too well. I mean, you saw it tonight. You saw how this game was really chippy. You saw how it was very, very physical. That's what happens in Game 4 of the NBA Finals, of conference finals and NBA Finals. You go back and you look in history in competitive NBA Finals, Game 4 is when they're just like, I'm sick and tired of seeing this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
It's like,
exactly it.
I got to look at this dude again, and he's invading my space. And tonight in Game 4 of the 2025 NBA Finals, it was really physical and it was really chippy. There was some questionable foul calls, yeah, but I just think that's par for the course. Typical. When it comes exactly to the NBA. It was an entertaining game, and it's been an entertaining series so far. So, yeah, I would be very surprised if we had anything that resembles a blowout in the next 3 games, or 2 games, 1 if necessary, since this series is tied at 4. I just think these two teams are very familiar with each other, obviously, and I think they're really evenly matched, with the exception of the fact that OKC has size, and when it's used effectively against the Pacers, as it was in the fourth quarter, that can be a difference maker.
Definitely evenly matched. You got to give the Pacers a hell of a lot more credit than we had. At least I had initially. I didn't expect them to win 2 games. Well,
they were minus 700.
I mean,
all right, they were massive underdogs.
Yeah. I mean, give it up to them. And even tonight, they had. I mean, they're going to be thinking about this for days, because this was easily ready for a 3-1 lead for them. Easily.
Yeah, man. But
choke up.
When you do go up 3-1. You have a very tight grip on the series.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know when you do go up 3-1, that don't mean the series is over.
Well, yeah.
So, there is a big difference, clearly, between the Pacers being up 3-1 and now being engaged in the 100%. Best of 3 series of being tied 2-2. But I really do think in today's NBA, with the 3-pointer being what it is, there's not as big of a gap from being up 3-1 to being tied 2-2 as it used to be.
Yeah, amen.
So Pascal Siakam, he was getting it done for the vast majority of the game, and I think in the fourth quarter, as I scroll through here,
he was rough in the fourth.
He was very rough in the fourth quarter. Siakam had 20 points. But none of those came in the fourth quarter. And Tyrese Halliburton, 3 of 7. They just couldn't get anything going from 3. Nembhard had been doing well prior to the fourth quarter. I mean, I think multiple things can be true that the Pacers' youth and inexperience showed, but I think the OKC Thunder put a spotlight with their play. Okay. Yeah. Shea's play offensively, their size with Hartenstein and Holmgren, and their overall defensive get down. I think OKC it sort of helped the Pacers in being youthful and being inexperienced, and they took advantage of it. I think those two things sort of line up on parallel tracks.
Yeah, actually, I'm on the page of, I think both of these teams are pretty young, which is probably another reason that this series is tied.
Mm-hmm.
Because the OKC is not; these aren't veterans; these aren't OGs.
No.
All these guys are pretty young, and I actually thought until that fourth quarter, I felt like, okay, well, Shea is not really doing anything, and maybe this is because he's just a young guy, and this is crunch time.
The Pacers were on him like white on rice, though.
They were, but still, he went and he got it done in the fourth, and that's when it matters.
Yeah, what people are going to look at and what's going to be the instant reaction, and I understand it because it's sort of easily digestible, is that you look at the 2 stars, the 2 best players on each of their respective teams. As we mentioned, SGA, 15 points in the fourth quarter. Tyrese Halliburton, 8 points in the fourth quarter on 3 of 7 shooting. A couple of trips to the free throw line, and nothing going for him and any of the Pacers in the fourth quarter from the free throw line. So
yeah, and Halliburton, I mean, like many of the other Pacers in the fourth quarter, he just kept chucking up threes. And I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Go get fouled. Go to the basket.
Yeah, well, again, they did that.
Mhm.
They went there 10 times. But Benedict Mathurin is the one who missed the majority of their free throws. He was 1 of 4 from the free
Rough.
throw line.
Ooh.
But he's the only one that missed free throws in the fourth quarter.
Ooh.
So it's, could they have gotten there a few more times? Absolutely. But I think the bigger issue is 2 issues at play here that sunk the Pacers. Putting aside Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, showing up and being the MVP. You are not going to win a game. I don't think you're going to win a regular season game unless you're playing, let's say, the Wizards or the who are those guys? The Hornets. You ain't going to win a game if you are 0 from the 3-point line and you get out rebounded 12-4. That's the game. That's how OKC won it. Or you could say that's how the Pacers lost it.
Yeah.
Okay, how you look at it, that's the game. You are not going to win an NBA contest, especially one where you're playing a team that is very good and you're equal. You ain't gonna win that game.
Yep.
They could have gone
game
10,
too.
They could have gone 10 and 10 from the free throw line. You're not gonna win that game if you're 0 for 8 from behind 3 and you get out rebounded 12-4.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen.
I mean, Stevie Wonder can see that.
And I think I heard him saying the same thing.
I mean, it's, that's all it boils down. And I'm looking here at the box score. 8 second chance points in the fourth quarter.
Yikes.
Okay, so again, you could say the Pacers choked it. You could say OKC won it. Either way, you're going to be right. But the facts remain. You cannot go 0 for 8 from behind the money line and get out rebounded 12-4 and damn near give up 10 second chance points and win a game. I don't care how many free throws you do or do not make.
Facts.
That's how it boils down. So here we go, man. Best of 3. Can't beat it, baby. Can't beat it.
This is exciting.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it. You know what else you can't beat?
What's that?
Cannot beat
your
Giants.
Okay.
Yo, dog. Wait, hold on. You know what? Hey, it's been a while, but I think we got to bring him back because, man, you wildin'. Gucci Mane face. No, you can't beat children. No, you can think about it. You can desire it, but you cannot beat children. No, absolutely
not beat them.
Settle down, wink. Joe Jackson. Easy. Easy. No, we're not beating children.
Can't beat the kids.
You also cannot beat Giants, Dodgers, that rivalry being spicy again. As we bring you the Friday night edition of Quality Hang, the Giants, who had won 7 in a row until blowing a game yesterday in Colorado against the worst team in the league, the Colorado Rockies. But the San Francisco Giants, like butter, have been on a roll as of late, winning 7 of their last 8. And the Giants, who offensively might make you want to pull your hair out sometimes. What you know about the Giants this year is they are really, really good pitching-wise. Their rotation is more than solid. It's one of the best in the league, and the Giants possess the best bullpen in the league. And with the strength of their pitching and just getting enough offense, the Giants have rolled into L.A. playing as good of a brand of baseball, Marcus, as they played all year long. So now the Giants are down in Chavez Ravine for a 3-game series. Logan Webb on the mound against Yamamoto. And what have the Giants done here about midway through the game? I think they are now heading to the top of the 5th. The Giants, on the strength of a couple of home runs, a Willy Adames solo shot. And by the way, Willy Adames, for those of you who don't necessarily follow baseball, big free agent shortstop signing by the Giants. And he has struggled mightily offensively this year up until going to Coors Field, which is a get-right place if you're struggling offensively as an individual or as a team. My man Anthony Garcia, who with Therese Vignal does the in-stadium entertainment for the Giants at AT&T Park, said going to Coors Field for a hitter is like Stella getting her groove back with Tay Diggs. So Willy Adames went to Coors Field, had a couple of days off, got his groove going offensively. Can't say he got it back because he hasn't really done a whole heck of a lot this year. But Adames solo shot in the first inning. Casey Schmidt with a grand slam. A couple of innings after that. The Giants are up on the Dodgers, the mighty Dodgers, the defending world champion Dodgers. And the Dodgers, who lead the Giants by a mere 1 game, as we are now in mid-June in the NL West standings. The Giants are up 5-1 on the mighty LA Dodgers. Yo, man, Giants, because the Giants have not been this close to the Dodgers in the NL West standings this late in the season since 2021.
Yeah.
And that was the year the Giants won the NL West. Unfortunately, they lost to the Dodgers in 5 games in the divisional round.
Yeah.
But yo, man, it's been 4 years since we've gotten spicy Giants Dodgers, and we got spicy Giants Dodgers right now, 5-1, bottom 6, the Giants on top.
I mean, this is what Giants fans have been waiting for, just a team to be moderately competitive. And that's all you really need. They got the turnstiles are rolling. People are showing up at the park. It seems to be a good time out. I am not, this is going to make everybody mad at me. I am not a Dodgers hater. I should hate the Dodgers, but I don't. My dad was a Dodger fan and an A's fan. So, you know.
All right. You know what?
And here's the thing. Pops is he's from New York. So he was a Dodger fan growing up. And then when he moved out here to the Bay, he started rooting for the A's. So I kind of picked up his Dodger A's fandom. So I'm not a Dodger fan.
You could tell when you said, I don't hate the Dodgers. You could tell that I had the Gucci Mane face going, right? You saw that. Okay. I'm like, you telling me that Marcus Osborne, okay, from Oakland, from the Bay, does not hate the Dodgers. My face was all screwed up. I had Gucci Mane going on. I'm like, what is he talking about? But you know what, though?
Yeah.
Respect to Pops Osborne, all right, you know, and we always respect our elders, the OGs.
We do.
If he, you know, if that's where you got it from, I can understand that. I get that. And telling me that Pops is from New York, the ancestral home of both the Giants and the Dodgers, I get that.
Yeah.
That being said,
Jamaica Queens, baby.
That being said, man, fuck the Dodgers. All day, every day.
You should hate the Dodgers.
The Dodgers and the Cowboys. It gives me a chance to break out this bad boy. Look at that. Lame.
You as a Houstonian, you definitely should hate the Dodgers.
And I do. It goes all the way back to I think it was 1980 or 1981. I forget when was
Fernando?
the strike. I think it was 1981. The Dodgers beat the Astros in a 3-game playoff, if my memory serves me correctly.
Who was pitching? Was it J.R. Richard? No.
Unfortunately, he had already had a stroke by then. I don't remember, but that was the height of Fernando mania.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hate the Dodgers just reflexively, but you know, I had a reason to as a young Astros fan going all the way back then. And nothing delighted me more. It was great to see the Astros win the World Series, something I never thought would happen, but for them to beat the Dodgers in the process. And then watching them bitch and moan and cry, like, oh, they cheated. Like,
they cheated.
So, and what you gonna do? Nothing. And then they won that.
Not giving it back.
Nothing you can do about it. They won that weak ass Mickey Mouse championship in the COVID years. Nobody respect that ring. Now they won last year. All right, fine. Yeah, whatever. Just, whatever. You ain't winning now, and you ain't beating the Giants right now. As Logan Webb is pitching himself a gem, as he is gone now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. He is coming back out for the 7th. Hey man, the Dodgers, who have had some injuries pitching wise, don't nobody feel bad for them.
Nobody. Nor should they.
Kitty said the kitty. The LA Dodgers in this crib, in this camp, lame.
You would be completely right if you said the Dodgers, in spite of having 2 World Series championships in the last 5 years, still a very underachieving team over the past decade.
Spent all that money for a Mickey Mouse championship, and the one credit the one they got last year. Cool, but yeah, you spent all that money, you should get at least one.
I mean, how many times did Clayton Kershaw get out there and just completely blow a tire right there?
A lot.
It's weird. It's weird.
A lot.
As Draymond always says, he says there's 82 game players and there's 16 game players. Yeah. I love that line. And Clayton Kershaw, he ain't that dude in the postseason.
Dodgers, by the way, 1 run, 1 hit. And I haven't seen the box score yet. Paying attention to the finals game, but I'm pretty sure that the Dodgers didn't hit a home run. So I wonder how they scratched that one run he tried to say around off of that one hit. So, but yeah, man, I think it's kind of when people say, well, the NBA is better when the Knicks or the Lakers or, the big teams are involved. I don't buy that. I do think in baseball, though, with it being such a regional sport and a sport that relies so much on its history, I think baseball is much, much better when the Giants and the Dodgers are fighting for, if it's not NL West supremacy, at least fighting to get into the playoffs and winning the division. While it's still an accomplishment, it doesn't mean as much because you don't play your division as much due to interleague being a bigger thing, and I think that's great in Major League Baseball now. Really, it's just get into the playoffs. If you get in by winning the division, no one's going to turn that down. But winning the division in Major League Baseball doesn't guarantee, bam, you are going to go deep into the playoffs just based on the strength of being a division winner. All that being said, Giants-Dodgers fighting for NL West supremacy is just as good as Yankees-Red Sox fighting for AL East supremacy, or Cubs and Cardinals fighting for NL Central supremacy.
The Cardinals and everybody.
Right, exactly. And just with baseball, again, being such a regional sport and it being so tied to its past, these teams being good and scrapping and it being good baseball is I really think fundamental to the success of the sport. I really do believe that.
Yeah, I mean, baseball has many issues, and they are hemorrhaging fans every year. But paramount to their success is keeping intact those legendary regional, divisional battles.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. This is the latest the Giants and the Dodgers have ever faced each other for the first time in baseball history. You played in your division.
You play the first month. You're playing your division.
Oh, you'd see them twice. You'd go on the road, or they'd come to you, or you'd flip it. You play now your division opponents. I believe it's 13 times. It used to be you played them probably 19, maybe even more. I forget exactly, but again, with interleague, and I like it. With interleague now, there's an interleague game every single day of the Major League Baseball calendar. So, and the schedule is balanced, and everybody in baseball is in favor of that. So to achieve balance, you got to lose something, and what you are losing is teams playing their division opponents more. And I think that, again, while baseball is a regional sport, you didn't need to see your regional or your divisional opponent. You didn't need to see them 19, 16, 18, 19 times a season. That was just a little bit too much for me. It's great. You see the Dodgers 19 times. You're also seeing the Rockies 19 times. Yeah. And don't nobody want to see that shit.
Ain't nobody got time for it either.
Ain't nobody got time for that. At all. Now, thinking about it, as bad as the Rockies have been this year, maybe you do want to see them 19 times. But no, I'd rather see the Red Sox come to town next week and the Guardians of Cleveland. Yeah, I do. But I would rather see them, which is fine with me. You know me. You're never going to make me feel bad for anything that has to do with Boston sports. But I'd rather see the Red Sox come to town. I'd rather see the Guardians come to town than seeing the Arizona Diamondbacks again. 19 times. So the Giants Dodgers is good again.
Not what we need.
Nope. Do not need that. We'll keep you updated on this game, by the way, if anything transpires. What you got, man? What's on your mind?
I was checking out. Let's see if I can find this here.
While you do that, let me go ahead and pay this off to Todd K, who clearly was a Fitz and Brooks University student. Went to class every day from noon to 3 on KMBR 680 back in the day with my man Bob Fitzgerald. This is a deep cut, and this is just for Todd. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but there was a guy. Jim Bob Cooter. I think this had something to do with college football. This seems like a college football type name. And of course, because I'm a child, the ability to say Jim Bob Cooter on the radio tickled me endlessly. So I would just say Jim Bob Cooter, Jim Bob Cooter, Jim Bob Cooter, Jim Bob Cooter over and over. And some way, somehow I made a career out of that. Who knows? So Todd, I hope you enjoyed your Jim Bob Cooter as fast as I can. Jim Bob Cooter, Jim Bob Cooter, Jim Bob Cooter. There you
go. I just saw this story, and it actually plays into my best thing I heard today that we'll do at the end of the show.
Okay.
But NFL Hall of Famer Barry Sanders had a heart attack last year.
Saw that, man.
I'm like, whoa.
Yo, come on.
Tell you something. If Barry Sanders had passed my heart attack, bro, I might have cried. I might have cried.
Might have. No, we're crying. Barry Sanders?
Oh, my God. Me some my favorite backs of all time: Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk, Earl Campbell. Them dudes can do no wrong in my eyes. Period. Point blank. I love those guys. And if Barry had, oh man,
no, that would have been crushing. That would have been crushing. And with us losing so many legends over these last few years, losing them this week, and Sly Stone and Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Yeah, losing Barry Sanders. That would have been a rough L for us. We were talking about this on the last show, how fortunate we were to see great players in all sports. Not just the traditional ones, but I saw Michael Phelps swim. I saw Michael Johnson win the 200 and the 400. I saw that live in Atlanta. Like being able to say I saw that is awesome. And having that understanding and that knowledge and that perspective, and then, being able to see what we see right now and having again, that knowledge is just great. Yo, man, we saw Barry Sanders play.
Seriously. We saw mythological players. We saw them. Like,
in real time.
Saw them. Yeah.
We saw him. We didn't just see highlights. We didn't catch it. It wasn't the Howard, Cosell Monday Night Football highlights.
Yeah.
We saw him play full games live. We saw that.
And he was amazing. This is when you hear the young people start talking about these other guys. I'm like, none of these dudes holds a candle to Barry Sanders. You kidding me? What are you talking about?
I mean, hey man, I think Walter Payton was, to me, he's the greatest back of all time.
Walter was amazing.
And I caught the end of Walter's career, as he got to, 83, 84, 85, he had just been running to the ground on those terrible Bears teams in the late 70s and early 80s. But you still saw in flashes, the greatness of sweetness. But I think Walter Payton is the best back because he had the speed and the power. He had it all.
He paid
Jim
the
Brown,
price for it too, man.
He paid, unfortunately. Jim Brown, obviously, great. But Barry Sanders, just what he was able to do on some terrible Lions teams, you if you didn't see it, it would sound like somebody was making it up. And what's great is that there is video and the snippet, good video, exactly, right? It might not be in HD, but it's in color. It's good video. You can make out the players, right? It doesn't look like Tecmo Bowl, but the video, I think, does justice.
Oh yeah,
and how unbelievable he was, how great he was in space, and how great he was when there was no space. I don't know if there was a better back who could operate in sort of both of those dimensions. Where in space you were cooked. Okay, the linebackers couldn't touch him. Safeties couldn't touch him. But when you got him in a phone booth, you couldn't touch him either.
Barry. He was so good, and folks won't know this because they didn't see it. But he played, as you said, on some terrible teams. There were years he had no line, no other receivers. Everybody knew Barry Sanders was getting the ball 25 times a game, and they couldn't stop him. He still has one of the highest per yards per carry averages. I think he's second after Jim Brown. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable. But that was my point, is that you knew he was getting the ball.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do anything about it because there was no effective defense against Barry Sanders.
Nothing. And the fact that he made so many people look silly was so much fun to me.
You couldn't tackle him in a phone booth, and you damn sure couldn't tackle him in space.
No.
So you can't shoot him. right?
Because that would be illegal.
That would be illegal. The only thing that stopped Barry Sanders was Barry Sanders' desire to not play football for the Detroit Lions.
Yep, that's
not
exactly
Barry
it.
Sanders. Old age eventually got Emmitt Smith. Wear and tear got Earl Campbell and got Walter Payton. Eric Dickerson is another one of my favorites.
God.
He was like an extension of Walter Payton.
Oh man.
And he was so great. And there's so many other running backs whose names, of course, when I need them, escape me. But Doc, there was only one Barry Sanders.
That's right.
There's only one. There's only one. Man.
Can I hit you with one other thing?
Yeah, man, please do.
Did you see this jet in India?
The Boeing 737 Dreamliner that crashed in India and killed.
And the one dude who survived?
Yeah.
The one dude who survived.
Yeah,
I don't know why this irks me so much. The one dude survived, and they're like interviewing this dude from basically his deathbed. Like, let this cat recover before you start peppering him with questions about what did you see? This dude is laying in the bed, injured. What did you like? What? Let me get some sleep. I just walked away from a plane crash where 241 people died. What are you doing?
You know who I blame? I blame his people. Like,
his reps.
Yeah, it's like his family. And hopefully, now that I think about it, hopefully his family wasn't on board and perished with all the other people.
Oof.
But at some point, like, hey, help homie out here. All right.
I mean,
he just went through one of the, if not the most traumatic thing you can go through. And all of a sudden the Indian version of 60 Minutes wants to shove a microphone in his face. And he can't fight back because, well, he just survived a plane crash. Stall him out. Stall him out.
I wish I had the video, but I'm like, wait a minute, this dude. He just got him out the plane crash.
Oh, no, I saw it. Oh, man,
what are we
his
doing?
front's all bruised up and everything because, well, he just survived a plane crash. And yeah, I saw the lady with the microphone in his face. Like, yo,
I mean, it's crazy. And my man said he walked away. He said he walked away from a plane crash.
Let me tell you something. I survived a plane crash, and I'm the only person out of 200 plus people to survive a plane crash. You can't tell me nothing.
Nothing. And I'm wilding for the rest of my life. For the rest, I don't care what happens. I don't care if I go to jail. I don't care.
I'm going to pick up the nastiest pink cocaine habit. All right. I'm going to be like Stephon Diggs on that boat with them 4 chicks. It's gonna be nothing but designer drugs for your boy. I just survived a plane crash that killed everybody but me. Matter of fact, I might try heroin.
Why not?
Why not?
Clearly, you are made of something more than the rest of the people on the planet.
Clearly, God has a plan for you, and that plan is for you to live your best life and live it to the fullest.
Bro, that's literally Final Destination right there.
Yeah. So whoever you are, brave soul that survived that unfortunate air crash, we salute you in all of your endeavors. And I hope that every day is wilder than the last, sir. We salute you. All right, let's have some fun, shall we?
Yes.
You've seen home run celebrations by teams in dugouts in Major League Baseball, right? Like a guy hit a home run, and now they have props involved. The Orioles have like a beer bong. They put water in it, but you know what they're trying to convey. The Angels, I don't know if they still have the samurai helmet. They had it when Ohtani was there, but they have samurai helmet. The Mariners guy hits a home run, they give him a trident, put a cape on him, he goes down the dugout. So anyway, I think it's cool because you need more fun in baseball. The Chicago Cubs, the surprisingly good Chicago Cubs, have a home run celebration, and see if you could see what makes it so special. All right, here we go. All right, this player celebrating with a guy in the tunnel. There's Justin Turner. He celebrates back. What do you see?
Nice.
Let me go ahead and see if I can move that here. All right, we'll go.
I lost my camera, Rod, but I'm here.
You lost your camera? We'll get your camera back. Right?
I'm here.
Do we see these nuts? Right. See if we can get a better. There we go. Well, oh, look at that. I can manipulate. I can manipulate Justin Turner's fake testes. Look at me. Look at me. I'm in control. I'm the puppet
Amazing.
master. Yeah.
Amazing.
So this is how the Cubs celebrate their home runs. I have several questions about this. First off, who thought of this? It's baseball players. They have a lot of time to think of things. Secondly, who places the Amazon order? Okay. All right. Who's got to put in their Amazon search history fake testicles? By the way, I'm not going to stop doing this. So if this is bothering anyone, I'm sorry. It's a Friday night and it's YouTube. Deal with it. So who puts that in their search engine? Secondly, if you really wanted to do something rowdy, you would have gotten those in a different color. Okay. Like you get some testicles that are brown. This is a lot
and very hairy.
Exactly. Did you do that? This is a lot funnier and a lot more eye-catching and arresting. So there you go.
I love that he had the balls to do this.
Yeah. So Justin Turner with Bofa these nuts out there. So, all right, am I gonna stop? All right, fine.
You should.
All right. See, now all of a sudden now I got people. Nope, I can't stop. Nope, I can't stop. Nope, look at him jiggle. Watch him jiggle. See him wiggle.
This is amazing.
Testicles by Justin Turner. So there you go. See if I can get a good one here. Where they're look at it. Look at him. Look at the air. Look at the air they're getting.
Amazing.
So there you go. Let's see,
I like no. Somebody just got eyeballs.
So I hope the Cubs are able to continue this tradition, if we want to call it that, because it's pretty funny. We'll get Marcus's camera back online here in just a second. While we are doing that, 5-2, by the way, Dodgers hit a solo home run. Matt Cain's still in the game. He's got a couple of outs here in the bottom of the seventh. 5-2, Giants on top of the Dodgers on the strength of a couple of home runs and Adames solo shot and a grand slam that would definitely be fake testicles worthy if the Giants got down like that. A grand slam off the bat of Casey Schmidt. On this date, Marcus, let's do that. On this date, the Humpty Dance.
Oh my God!
Was released on this date in 1989. It's a banger. It's a classic. It gets the party started.
So me and my buddies were there for the Humpty Dance video. We were there for the shoot.
Dog, that's awesome. No way.
Yeah, Tupac was there, by the way.
Yeah, he was a dancer for Digital Underground. Absolutely. Yeah, you were at that show?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely. As a matter of fact, it was on a weekend. It was like a Saturday, and we all went out there. Me, my two buddies went out there. It was great. Fantastic time.
Now, so this is pre-social media.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys find out? Like, you knew there was going to be a show, or did you get word there was going to be a video?
No, everybody got word there's going to be a video show shoot.
So
and everybody knew who Digital Underground was.
Sure.
Like, let's go out there. So we went out there, man. It was so much fun.
Oh man, it's just it was just a different time, man. First off, rest in peace to Shock G. Lost him way too soon a few years ago. Man, Digital Underground. I don't think they get enough due for the lane that they created in hip hop. You had fun party, hip hop, but at that time in '89, because NWA had done their thing, gangster rap was, and the harder side of rap was taken over. I think Digital Underground, they were the last ones to kind of have that free-spirited, carefree party vibe.
I love that.
And no, absolutely,
Love it.
and be able to thrive off of that, man. I just that whole collective and their whole get down, I absolutely loved it. And that album, Sex Packets, is a great one. And
It is a classic.
Humpty Dance, Do What You Like. It's
It
timeless.
is a classic. The thing that I really loved about that, I call it the golden age, when hip hop just exploded, is because we may have even had this conversation. One of the things that sets that era apart from the current era, nobody wanted to sound like anybody else.
Exactly.
So you could have Humpty and that crew, Digital Underground, but you could also have NWA literally on the same show.
Exactly.
And get a bunch, and then you could have Slick Rick, and then you could have LL, and you could have Run DMC, and then you could have like Kool Moe Dee, and then Tribe Called Quest. Like there were so many different shades of hip hop, something for everybody, because it was almost a crime to bite somebody else's style.
Man, almost a crime. There was nothing. The biggest insult in hip hop is when you call somebody a biter.
Yep. Yep. Those rap beefs were all about people biting their styles back then. LL and Kool Moe Dee had that whole beef because Kool Moe Dee was saying LL stole his shit.
If you got labeled as a biter, that also meant you were a sucker MC. And
that's right. That's right.
You don't want to be a sucker MC. We see this like we need to bring that back. We need to bring back calling somebody a sucker MC. We need to bring back calling somebody a biter. We need to bring back the insult chump. Right?
I love chump.
we need to bring that back. Yeah, man. So Digital Underground, Humpty Dance came out on this date in 1989. And yes, I fully thought for a long time, maybe longer than I should, being an adult at this time, that I thought that Shock G and Humpty Hump were two different people.
You were not the only one, Rod.
They had
the only people who knew from the jump were the people out here. The rest of the country had no idea. No idea.
I thought Humpty Hump was a completely different person. For months, it was inconceivable to me that maybe, just maybe, the guy who actually does look like Humpty Hump without the big nose and the glasses might just be putting on a big nose and glasses and becoming Humpty Hump. I could not wrap my head around that. All right.
And if I remember correctly, that was they shot that in Berkeley. I think we shot it in Berkeley.
Man, it's so cool that you went to that show.
90% sure it was Berkeley. Yeah, dude.
That's so cool that you went to that show. Can you see yourself in that video, or is it's just way too many?
You can see, actually, you can see my boy, you can see my buddies. Well, one of them, you can see one of us in there.
Yo, man, that's dope.
Because they had us all spread around the stage. It was crazy, dude.
That's dope. Giants just hit another home run. The Dodgers hit a solo home run in the top of the 8th. The Giants answer back with a solo shot of their own. Kinzer with a home run. It is now 6-2, top 8, 2 outs. Giants on top of the Dodgers. By the way, only one game separating these two. So I'm not going to jinx it, all right? Because I don't want to be if I say, all right, if something happens, then something will happen in the standings, and all of a sudden they don't, and then Giants fans coming at me. I don't want no troubles. I don't be wanting that. So I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to mention that the Giants are up 6-2, top of the 8th, and only one game separates these two teams, and it is June 13th heading into June 14th. Mid-June, and we may just have ourselves some action in the NL West. All right, keep going on this date, June 13th. Staying in music, Jagged Little Pill came out on this date in 1995.
Wow.
Yeah, man. One of the greatest debut albums of all time, and timeless classic. There's only going to be one Jagged Little Pill. Alanis Morissette hit, You Ought to Know, obviously was a massive success, and that whole album, I think, front to back, is I dare say it's a masterpiece. I agree 100%.
Yeah. Glenn Ballard, producer of that album,
one of the greatest of all time. Yes,
I'm telling you, dude, everything about that album was amazing. I know, like, there's some dudes who like, like that the chick rock. No, dude, this was a brilliant album, start to finish. Every single song is a no skip. It's amazing. And one of my favorite Grammy moments ever, Alanis Morissette performing "You Ought to Know" on the Grammys acoustically was amazing.
Oh, she's got a great voice. She's got an unbelievable voice, and she has a dynamic voice. Obviously, she could do a lot of screaming. All right, as she did on "You Ought to Know" and a couple of other tracks when the moment called for it. But she also had that low, that quieter dynamic as well to show all of that range and to show that vulnerability. She was, in her late teen, or maybe 19, 20 something when she started writing and the whole process happened. But to show that vulnerability in her writing and her singing on all that album was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite albums.
Me too. And I will tell you that I had a great experience interviewing Alanis Morissette. It's probably like 20 years ago. No, not quite 20 years, but almost 20 years ago. And super smart, like genius level smart. She was talking about some stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You could tell that in the lyrics on this album that she was a very intelligent.
Oh my God.
But very intelligent. She was a writer. Let's put it that way.
it's very, very, very sweet, very soft spoken, like a real Canadian. At least initially, but once she loosened up, she got a little raunchy. So,
well, I mean, the lyrics in "You Ought to Know."
Yeah,
I think one of the coldest lines in popular music history in this country is when she says, "Every time I scratch my nails down someone else's back, I hope you feel it."
Woo!
Yo, she was pissed at Dave Coulier of Full House fame. Yeah, man. Yeah. By the way, real quick, Giants Dodgers update. They're now heading to the bottom of the eighth. 6-2. Matt Cain is done for the evening. 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. So a very ace-like efforts by the Giants ace, Matt Cain. So if whenever this game ends, and if it ends obviously in the Giants' favor, we will pass that along to you. Continuing on this date, on this date in oh my God, what year is this? I forget what year it is. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played his last game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, with a little video here.
I remember be the last time that this great player ever walks down the tunnel to put on a basketball uniform to go to work. For 20 years in the NBA, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 6 NBA titles, 3 NCAA championships at UCLA.
1989. So on this day, the Humpty Dance was released, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played his last game, Game 4 of the 1989 NBA Finals versus Detroit. The Lakers were swept. If I'm remembering correctly, Magic Johnson and Byron Scott, I believe, Marcus, both injured their hamstrings.
Yep.
And that was all she wrote. That was the end of the Lakers dynasty, and that was the beginning of the Pistons on their quest to win back-to-back, as they did, beating the Lakers and then beating the Trailblazers the next year. So Kareem, in his final game on June 13th, and the Lakers got swept by the Pistons, scored 7 points, of his eventual 38,387 points he scored in his stellar career. On this date, Kareem played his last game.
And I remember that right after that game, everybody was talking about how it was redemption. Well, not redemption, but it was get back because the Lakers had beaten the Pistons the year before because Isaiah sprained his ankle.
Yes.
But wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. He also scored 40-plus points. What are you talking about? Like, what are you saying?
Again, we saw Isaiah Thomas play. Isaiah Thomas on that sprained ankle is one of the greatest finals performances of all time. And we talked about the Jordan flu game. You know, there was the anniversary of that a couple of days ago. That Isaiah Thomas ankle game is a guttier performance in that Jordan flu game. That was an unbelievable showing by that cat.
I was an 18-year-old basketball fan. I loved Magic Johnson. I still love Magic Johnson to this day. And I remember going, ooh, I ain't never seen nothing like this. We saw Dr. J. At least I saw Dr. J.
Oh, yeah. No, we saw him.
So
We saw
Dr.
him.
J, I'm like, that's the dude who really got me into this game.
Yeah. Kareem playing his last game on this day in 1989. Staying with the Giants, or getting back to the Giants, let's go in the Wayback Machine on this date in 2012. Perfection happened at the corner of 3rd and King.
And to Buster Posey. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Matt King?
On the ground, Arias from deep third. Got him! And that's a perfect game. And the Giants mobbing Matt Cain on the pitcher's mound.
Matt Cain threw a perfect game against the Houston Astros on this date in 2012. I watched that game being an Astros fan. This is when the Astros were in the midst of a serious tank. They were absolutely terrible. It's not taking anything away from what Matt Cain did, because I don't care who you pitch a no-hitter.
It's hard to get a perfect game.
Yeah, it's extraordinarily hard to get a perfect game. I don't care who it is, but a couple of things here. And you saw the throw by Arias. I don't know what he was doing. I didn't know then. I still don't know now after seeing that game live and seeing this clip many times. Was he trying to step on a bag that wasn't there, that he didn't need to step on? I don't know. But I
felt like he was trying to get his balance to throw.
I guess, but boy, it was a real weird try to get your balance throw by
him. Because his pickup was really awkward.
Right. The whole thing was awkward. Exactly.
Yeah, so if he was like, you know what, I better square up and get this right because I don't want to mess this throw up.
So you remember these moments in these perfect games. And there was another one. There was a catch in center field by, I believe it was Gregor Blanco. It was just an incredible catch to preserve the perfect game. And then obviously Blanco with that awkward throw to end the game. But yeah, on this date, June 13th in 2012, Giants winning the World Series that year. Matt Cain threw a perfect game.
Whatever happened to Tim Lincecum? Like, you want to talk about a burning comet?
Well, once his career ended, he just faded off, man. He's just done. And, there are sightings of Tim Lincecum. It's like Bigfoot.
He probably out smoking weed somewhere.
He's from the Seattle area, so I believe he's up there. And he's just it makes sense because Tim Lincecum he was a hell of a baseball player, but he wasn't necessarily like a baseball lifer. He was just a really good pitcher for, unfortunately, a short amount of time. The best baseball game I've ever seen pitch live with my own 2 eyes. And again, I saw Nolan Ryan pitch. Okay, I saw him pitch live. Tim Lincecum in that divisional game against the Braves in 2010. I've never seen a more dominant performance live in a stadium. He had the Braves just absolutely cooked from basically the second batter on, maybe third batter. I forget exactly when it was, but his flame just burned really brightly. It was interesting with Tim Lincecum is that his dad was his pitching coach. Lincecum's delivery and his mechanics were no one would teach a youngster throw like Tim Lincecum. You want to throw like Tim Lincecum,
but you don't want to throw like Tim Lincecum.
You wouldn't teach them to throw like Tim Lincecum did when he was at his peak. But his dad, I believe his dad's name is Chris. His dad is the one who taught him how to do that and was his pitching coach. So when things, when he didn't have the velocity that he had, he couldn't necessarily go other places to stay in the game. He wasn't going to turn in, and didn't obviously turn into Greg Maddux. And the Giants pitching coaches, there was really nothing they could do with him.
They couldn't teach him anything.
They couldn't teach him anything. So once his like I said, once his velocity, once he lost his fastball velocity, and then once he lost his ability to, and then they would just tee off on it.
Yeah, it's
and
so
then
weird.
His secondary pitches didn't matter because they could just hit his fastball. Once he lost that, he bounced around with a couple of teams, and then when it was over, he was just like, "I'm out," and
quietly disappeared.
You didn't see him. I think he came back for Bruce Bochy's last game as Giants manager. I don't believe he's been to the park since then. at all.
I mean, I listen. I respect the cat who's like, I'm in, I'm out, done, I'm going on.
Yeah.
Not trying to hog the spotlight, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just he's such an enigmatic figure. Obviously a legendary figure, and kind of mysterious in many ways.
I couldn't put it any better. I could not put it any better.
You know who? And now you think about guys. I'm thinking about baseball now, but Tony Gwynn. Just thinking about hitters.
We saw him play.
Tony Gwynn was amazing, and in hindsight, I feel like I took him for granted.
Yeah. You took him for granted, but that's not a character flaw that you have. You took him for granted because he was always there doing Tony Gwynn stuff. You saw Tony Gwynn in the box. He was going to do one of two things. He was going to get a hit, or he was going to put the ball in play, and they were going to throw him out. But what he wasn't going to do was strike out.
He wasn't going to strike out. You wasn't striking him out. If you needed a strikeout, you're just going to walk Tony and go to the next dude.
It was not going to happen. He was going to give you a quality at bat, and more often than not, he was going to get a hit. So I get where you're coming from, where you took him for granted, because he was just that good.
Every year.
320,
340, 380.
Every year with minimal strikeouts. And then you look at guys right now where striking out is just like, all right.
I don't care.
It's unfortunate that Tony Gwynn is no longer with us, but I imagine Tony Gwynn watching today's baseball like,
this is what I love about baseball. What I used to love about baseball. Don't see it quite as much anymore, but it didn't matter what shape your body was.
Yeah.
You could go out there and you could fucking ball.
Yeah.
If you knew how to ball. Kirby Puckett.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. But obviously he's a guy who we all loved at one point, and then we found out he was not that nice a guy, but an amazing player.
Absolutely.
Amazing player. 5'8", great center fielder.
Tony Gwynn, hell of a basketball player.
Yes, point guard.
Hell of a basketball player. I saw something where I think he had more assists in college than he did strikeouts in the major leagues. That's how good he was. Played for San Diego State. That's how good he was. Going to the bottom of the ninth, Giants still on top, 6-2. See if we can keep it around here and give you the final score and the final totals and the standings in the NL West as we go into tomorrow, June 14th. Let's do the best thing I heard today. The best thing, Marcus, I heard today actually happened last night in Toronto, Canada. Specifically in front of a sellout crowd at the Rogers Center in it's Rogers Center or Rogers Stadium. It's where the Blue Jays play. So we're talking about a very, very, very big building. And a lot of people in Toronto, Canada got active. By the way, for the purposes of this video and the conversation we will have after it, Toronto, Canada is the birthplace of one Aubrey Graham, a.k.a. Drake. All right. Take it away.
That's hilarious.
For those of you who don't know, that was Kendrick Lamar firing shots at Drake in Drake's hometown in front of what looks to be 30, 40,000, maybe
Sold
more
out.
people, all
Sold
of
out.
them singing along to the song that implies that one Aubrey Graham, quote, like I'm young, in quotes.
He do like him young. That's not made up. He like him young. It's fine. We can say it.
Yo, dog, Kendrick is a madman.
Dude, it's so funny. And the other part to that, Rod, is after he finished the song, the crowd started chanting Do it again.
Do it again. Do it in. Like the pop out where where he did Not Like Us. What did he do it 15 times in a row? I might be plus or minus a couple. All right. I might be off a little bit, but I'm not that far off. He had folks in Drake's hometown, in his crib, singing along to the song, and then chanting "Do It Again."
That's so disrespectful.
But hey, listen, that's hip hop beef.
That's real hip hop beef.
Nobody getting shot at, nobody getting killed, nothing happening. It's just words and the consequences of one's actions. And while Drake is going to be okay, I will say in terms of this beef, all right, it's over. Flawless victory. Flawless victory. To go into that man's town that supposedly he runs, okay? Supposedly the Owl runs Toronto. For him to go, listen, Drake ain't gonna go to LA and do that. For him to go to Toronto, and I believe it's multiple shows in front of all those people and have all of those Canadians singing along word by word to that song it tells you everything you need to know about who won, because it's over. It's okay, maybe it's been over, but it's damn sure over now. Who won this feud?
It's not completely over till the tour is done, because that song is getting performed every night.
Oh yeah, no,
every night.
You can say it was done for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I wouldn't argue. You can say it was done at the pop up. You can say it was done before that. That's fine. I think this is like stabbing someone.
Yeah,
it's personal. You know. You didn't lob a grenade from a distance, Drake start with Super Bowl was happening. Drake was in Australia,
that's right.
He got as far as you could where they speak English. Like he went all to Australia to get away from Kendrick doing this song and others at the Super Bowl. You can't get away from a dude coming to your hometown and having all of those people sing along and then ask to do it again. That's like funny. Walking up to somebody and just stabbing them in the heart.
That is hilarious. And it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Oh, I'm not feeling bad for him by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm not a Drake fan. Listen, I ain't gonna lie and say I don't like some Drake music, but I don't like his whole get down.
He's never musically, never, ever, ever. The sound and the subject matter, which are the two most important things, I guess, other than beat and production. The sound and that dude's subject matter, it never once resonated with me, ever.
Yeah, well, he talk about the same shit all the time. And then where he goes wrong with me is trying to sing. And everybody says he does his R&B album. Like, that's not singing. Like, we've dropped the bar very low if we're starting to call what Drake does singing. Please stop it. Stop this dude.
Well, it's a wrap. He went to Toronto, and I'll back it up here. We don't have to hear the whole thing, but he had these people, dare I say, turn. Remember after the Super Bowl where there were Drake stands, they were Drake stands, who said that, nope, the crowd at the Super Bowl, they were not singing along with this. That was pumped in, that was manufactured. The crowd at the Super Bowl, they were not. And anybody who had an unbiased ear, or at least one working ear, was like, no, dog, everybody at the Super I should say everybody. A lot of people at the Super Bowl all went A minor.
Everybody. Kids was tapping their parents like, just say A minor when I tell you to.
When I elbow you in the ribs, just yell A minor. All right. Don't ask any questions. Just do it. It'll all make sense if you go with the flow. Drake fans, you can't truth or that. You can't. There's
no.
That was tens of thousands of people all in unison calling your boy a pedo.
PDF. You know what the best thing I heard today was, Rob?
What was that?
Nothing. Nobody died today in the music world, and that makes me happy because it was getting to me. So I'm like,
small victories. I got you.
Enough. Enough. Like, ooh. Remember a few years ago when everybody was falling off? And I had gotten to the point where I was like, I don't even want to open the internet today. I don't want to read no news because somebody is gone. It was like the year was a serial killer picking off people.
Yep. I got something that I know will make Giants fans happy. It will be the best thing that you will have heard today is that the Giants won 6-2 on the strength, again, of a couple of home runs, solo shot by Willie Adames and a grand slam by Casey Schmidt, and 7 strong from the ace Logan Webb. The bullpen, the best bullpen in baseball that the Giants possess, it did its job. Giants win the first of 3 down in LA against the Dodgers, 6-2. And we are going into June 14th, mid-June. What are we talking? 71 games I think the Giants have played now. It's a flat-footed tie at the top of the National League West standings. The Giants and the Dodgers are tied. The Padres are back there lurking, but the Giants and the Dodgers are tied atop the NL West. Let's go. Game on. That's pretty cool, man. That's really cool.
You're competitive. That's all you ever want as a fan, for your team to be competitive.
And to be specifically competitive against your rivals. Now, they've got 12 more games to play, okay? But, I said this earlier in the show. They haven't been this close in the standings, the Giants and the Dodgers, since 2021. Yes, okay? So we're talking 4 years, okay? Since in those 4 years, the Dodgers have spent seemingly billions, and the Giants have been floundering, through manager changes, through baseball philosophy changes. Farhan Zaidi to Buster Posey, personnel changes. Not necessarily getting what they wanted or who they wanted free agency wise. The Giants have floundered and have been struggling to find their way, and the Dodgers have been being the Dodgers, spending money, winning games, winning a World Series as they did last year. A lot of baseball left to be played. And the Giants are a team offensively. They still have flaws, even though they did score 5 runs tonight off of Yamamoto, who is a really good pitcher. But we're at mid-June, and you can start to make declarations and pronouncements about teams at this point in the season.
Who you are.
You know who you are. What you can do, what you can't do. Good and bad. I think where the Giants are right now, mid-June, they're a playoff squad. Can they outlast the Dodgers and the Padres to win the NL West? That might be too big of an ask because the Dodgers and the Padres, even though the Dodgers have pitching problems, but they're both still good. But as far as getting into the playoffs, which if you're a Giants fan, get in with pitching, which they have, and defense, which could be better, you can do some damage in the playoffs. This Giants squad, they're a playoff team, 100%.
Yeah. Wow. Your girl, I think her name is Naomi, was talking about 2016, and I'm looking at the people.
For the Giants. Oh yeah, 2016 was bad.
God, look at this
2016
roster.
Was awful.
Muhammad Ali. Wait a minute. Yeah, Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
In
2016. Ali died in 2016.
Who passed away? I thought you were talking about the Giants.
Yeah, no.
I was like, 2016 was a bad year. I don't think Muhammad Ali. I knew it wasn't that Muhammad Ali.
He ain't pitching.
That one. I was like, I don't think they had a Muhammad Ali on that roster. So yes, 2016 was a bad year for the Giants, and yes, 2016 was a bad year for losing icons. And yes, Muhammad Ali was on that list.
Ali,
we should go. Who else is on that list, real quick?
Oh Jesus, Ali, Prince, Alan Rickman from Die Hard, David Bowie, Carrie Fisher, George Michael, Gene Wilder, Debbie Reynolds, Leonard Cohen, Jesus Christ,
2016,
Glenn Fry, Arnold Palmer, Merle Haggard, Nancy Reagan. This is crazy.
Wait, who'd you say?
Merle Haggard?
Who'd you say? Wait a minute, no. After Merle Haggard, who'd you say?
Arnold Palmer?
No. The one that would make the Gucci Mane face happen.
Nancy Reagan?
Mm. Mm. Okay. All right. That's all. That's all. That's all.
Do it.
I'm not going to. But what I am going to do is encourage people to do their own research. And you know what? Just Google Nancy Reagan. I'm
God,
pretty sure what
know.
we are referring to will come up fairly instantly if you do your job.
Well, you know who knows.
And you don't blow it. Hang on, let me take my glasses off as I wink at the camera, and let me get the Gucci Mane face down so you can see it, okay? I just gave you the key words. Do your job. Don't blow it. Nancy Reagan. Okay, let me get this off because I need you to see. Okay. All right, there we go. Hey, man, listen, it's part of historical record. What do you want me to do? Okay?
I mean, Too Short talked about it in one of his songs, so it's got to be real.
All right.
Got to be true.
What are you doing in the White House if you're not selling cocaine? Ask your wife, Nancy Reagan. I know she'll spit that game. Like one night, she came to my house and gave me like this is Short back in. So when did cuss words come out?
That was 87,
88?
baby.
87, 88.
87.
See, even Short knew the deal back then.
He definitely knew.
I'm just passing along.
He just passed along history. Damn. That's all we doing.
That's all we doing. That's
oh my God, Maurice White died that year.
Yeah,
Jesus.
man. Yeah, 2016
Oof.
was a bad one. All right, but you know what? Today, been pretty good. Tomorrow, it's going to be even better. Giants Dodgers tied at the top of the NL West. We are going to have ourselves a best of 3 in the NBA Finals. If you are just joining us as we wrap this bad boy up and you're just getting in from the crib or getting into the crib from having yourself a good old time on this Friday, OKC wins game 4. That series is tied at 2. Game 5 back in OKC on Monday. As always, we like to thank our presenting sponsor, Hop Monk Taverns, 3 locations to choose from: Novato, Sonoma, and in Sebastopol. Great menu, great food, great craft beer selection, and a great selection of live music for you to choose from at all 3 venues. Whether it's national acts or local acts, they all come together at Hop Monk. So check out what they have live music wise, or for more information, go to hopmonk.com. Follow them on all the socials. Better yet, stop on in if you happen to be near a Hop Monk location in Sebastopol, Sonoma, or in Novato. All right, Marcus, we did the damn thing on a Friday.
We did, sir.
About it. Thanks to all of the quality hangers in the chat. We love it that you guys get active. You created this community. We dig it, and we also dig that you are a part of this show. We see you, we recognize you, and we salute you. And don't forget to follow us on all the socials. Quality Hang.
Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and Friends on Facebook. Go follow the page.
You heard the man.
We're 48 people away from being able to live stream on Facebook. So go tell a friend, go to Facebook, Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and Friends on Facebook.
A mere 48 people.
48 people.
What? We should have that wrapped up by the close of business tonight.
Yes,
and if you are checking us out on YouTube, or even if you're checking us out on Twitter, go to our YouTube page, Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and Friends. Like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that kind of good stuff, so we can continue our quest with the Bay Area, Bay Area Sports Collective. We can continue our quest for world domination. Just a little thing we're doing. We're just trying to take over the world. All right, and we need your help to do that. Not that hard, right?
Amen.
Okay, there we go.
Amen.
Marcus, have yourself a fantastic night. Have yourself a fantastic weekend, my friend. And we shall do this bad boy again on Monday following game 5 of the NBA Finals. How about it?
Yes, sir.
All right, my brother. Always appreciate you. Always appreciate you folks listening. As always, be good and be good at it. We'll see you. Have yourselves a great weekend.